Hey everybody, it's JJ. Welcome to Geeky Dad's Reads, and I hope you're doing well. Tonight I'm going to be talking about what to read before you read New Jedi Order. So, I haven't read New Jedi Order in a long time, but starting in 2027, January sometime, I'm going to be doing a complete reread of the entire 19 book series of New Jedi Order. But I haven't read a lot of the EU leading up to New Jedi Order. So tonight I'm going to talk about what to read before you head into that series. So these are my opinions. Some of you may have a different opinion. That's cool. Drop it down in the comments if you have a suggested reading order. But for the most part, I'm just going to talk about what I think is essential to try and read before you read New Jedi Order. So if you're somebody who's just coming to Star Wars, EU, or Legends, as the heathens like to say, this is a good starting point, I guess you could say. So right out of the gate, the first thing I'm going to read is the first 4 books in the X-Wing series, starting with Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron is actually my favorite book in Star Wars EU. I don't know why it is. Every time I read this book, I just get excited. And maybe it's just because it's Corran Horn and it's Wedge and all that stuff. I don't know. But for some reason, the deep friendships that you see in this book right here just get to me. And these first 4 books, all 4 of them were by Michael Stackpole. These books, I just feel like, really do a good job of kind of setting up that, the new Republic in a way. And I think that this is a good starting place if you've never read any Star Wars before. I think it's a good place to just kind of settle in these first 4 books, which is Rogue Squadron, The Back to War, Krytos Trap. Of course, the second book is Wedge's Gamble. I kind of read them out of order there. But all 4 of these books I feel like are essential to read before you get to New Jedi Order. Now, after that, I would recommend going to the Thrawn Trilogy, which is Heir of the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. I have not read this in a very long time. I'm talking pre-2010 probably, last time I read Heir of the Empire. Of course, the first time I read it, I was probably a freshman in high school, so this would have been the 90s, shortly after it had come out. And it's been years since I've read it, so I am looking forward to kind of diving back into that, because while I remember Heir of the Empire, I don't remember a whole lot about Dark Force Rising, and I do remember quite a bit about The Last Command, because I really like The Last Command. But I'm going to be doing that one next. So the first 4 books in the X-Wing series, the 3 books in the Thrawn Trilogy, and then I would recommend going to the the Jedi Academy series, basically, which is by Kevin J. Anderson. A lot of people did not like these books. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this. And while I think they have some issues, I think that they're really good. I enjoy them quite a bit. And, this collection right here is actually the collection I got when I was in high school. I believe all 3 of these came out in the same year. I think they put one out in like the spring, another in the summer, and then the other one in the fall. I could be completely wrong on that, but if I remember right, these all 3 came out in the same year. So Jedi Academy, I think it's essential, at least for me. So I'm going to be reading that. So the X-Wing, Thrawn Trilogy, and then of course after Jedi Academy, I'm going with iJedi. I haven't read this in a long time either. A lot of these I haven't read in a long time. That's why I'm rereading them. But this one kind of goes hand in hand with Jedi Academy. This is Corran Horn, and everything that's going on with him, it's kind of from his point of view. This is a very good book. I know a lot of people that say this is their favorite Star Wars book ever written. Like with mine is Rogue Squadron. A lot of people like Heir of the Empire. For me, this is definitely in my top 5. If you go back and look at my top 30 Star Wars books, this is in my top 5. It's a very good book. So that's another one that I'm going to be reading before I go to New Jedi Order. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing the Hand of Thrawn Duology, which is Spectre of the Past and Vision of the Future. I think these are both great books. I read these back during the pandemic, so this has been about 2020 is when the last time I read these. They're both very good books. I really like them. I think that they are essential. Now, after that, there's some other books like the Trilogy. You could read that if you wanted to. I don't necessarily think it is. I'm not going to reread the Trilogy. I may. It just depends on if I have time between now and the end of December. You can also do the Courtship of Princess Leia. A lot of people suggest that. And then, of course, the Young Jedi Knights YA books. I think there's like 6 of those, or maybe 14, but I think 6 of them are the ones that are primarily the ones that most people think are essential. I may get to those. I do not know. So that is what I am going to read before I read New Jedi Order, and I'm looking forward to diving into New Jedi Order. If you have a book, maybe I forgot, maybe I didn't think about it, why don't you drop it down in the comments below? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for me, hit that little bell thingy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.